everything in the house, the bead breaker and everything. It's too cold out here, man. My hands are freezing right now. It says it's almost 40 degrees in here, but I'll tell you, you ever look at your phone and see that real feel? The real feel is, it feels like 15 out here. It's cold. So we took some stuff in the house, bead breaker and the little tire spoon things, and we worked on some stuff in there. And we took the 4.6 tires off these wheels, put them on the wheels that Rich welded together, aired them up, and then popped the beads on, aired them up, and then we filled up the sink with water, and we made sure they didn't leak any air. Because he burned up my paint job. These are the rears, but we had them painted up like this. The fronts were like this as well. And when he welded up the seam, it burned all the paint off the inside down in there on both the front wheels. So we got to take him over to his house. We'll tape off the edge of the rim again, and we'll just throw him in a bead blast, sandblaster real quick and just knock the paint off, and we'll respray them. They'll be good to go. So we've got 2 sets of front wheels for my hot rod. We'll have a setup that we can use to build the new hot rod, whether we're going to build it all the way up and keep it or sell it off. Don't know. Who knows? People like to do things themselves, especially with body work and all that kind of stuff. So it wouldn't hurt my feelings to mount a motor on it and everything and get it all mechanically ready to go and sell it to somebody who's going to put a body and a floor tray on it and finish it off, Same thing with the supercart. We may not even run the supercart now. I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do. But I have a sense it's time, the way the world is moving, to get rid of a bunch of this stuff that we've got laying around. And that's kind of was the business plan for the whole RPM thing anyway. Get it in, doctor it up, fix it up, get it out there so somebody can see it for sale and get it in the hands of somebody that can put it on a track and use it. Let's be honest, we're not buying a bigger trailer. I'm only one person, and it's all I can do to drive one go-kart in a weekend, let alone, or two, with the 4-banger or something, let alone having 3, 4, 5 go-karts to it's a menace to keep in line. So that's what we're doing. Messing around a little bit. We got the nose cone over here, and found the more we looked at it, the more we found was wrong with it. It was busted up pretty good. I don't know if you can see where it was broke, but I don't know if it's Dick Tracy or Randy Johnson's nose. Gary Cram, I think, did the work here. It was busted, all around here and pushed in, and then it was busted there and pushed in, and they just gooped it up. It's a big, thick, wet, resin-rich repair, which is junk, but I think we may end up just going with it because I'm not going to buy a new piece for that cart. And I really don't want to make a new one out of my mold, but we may end up doing that. We may end up just making a new part and going from there. We were, before Florida, going to Daytona, we were going to have Chris make the bodywork for us out of our molds. Now, I think we can do it ourselves, no big deal. So that's where we're at here on the 16th of January. Messing around, we figured some things out. Did a lot of background work on the carburetor and what was happening with it, and the explanations from some experts in the personal watercraft industry, which that carburetor comes from, as to how to work it out. So we're going to give it another go in April. We're hoping for a 2-day gig in April. So we got 1 day to hopefully get it figured out. And we'll get to the end of the road with that thing in the first day, one way or the other. It's either going to work or it's not going to work. We've got it completely figured out, or there's still a glitch and we're just done. Then we'll spend the second day probably on our 30 millimeter carb, and then we can try throwing the old pipe back on it too to see what's going on. But that's ways off yet. We got a lot of work to do. I ain't been spending a hell of a lot of time out here though because my feet get cold. Bought a new heater. Heats up the air real nice. It doesn't gas your eyes out and stink in here like the old propane heater does. But I'll tell you, my feet and my big toes right now are already kind of numb, and my fingers are ice cold. I'm not handling this real well, folks. I feel like a spider when it gets cold. Yeah, I can't move. My hydraulics aren't working anymore. So that's it. That's what we got for you today. Hey to Chris West. He's feeling it too. His garage is attached to the house, and it's too cold in there for him to work on his cart. So I told him he's He's got his kids live with him, and they're young, they're little ones. He's single though, other than that. So any single ladies out there, watch yourself. But Chris, I told Chris he's got a sliding door, a glass door, and he's got like a den or something. I told him, man, bring them go-karts right in the house, man. That's what the RPM brothers would do, ain't that right, Rich? Yeah, bring them right in the house and work on them. I've been beating up the old lady. I says, hey, listen, Cher, I need a workbench or something down in the basement. And you know what, Bob? Bob suggested I do it, and she's not against it. So good for me, I guess. I can get some things, little things inside and work on it, rebuild brake parts and what have you. But no cut grinding in the house, nothing like that. No fiberglass, no spray painting. But we could just keep moving forward. You know what I mean? Keep moving forward. That's it. That's it from the freezing cold, frozen tundra of Roseville, Michigan. RPM headquarters is on lockdown because it's freezing cold. Pray for me. I'm praying for you. Stay warm. Stay thirsty, y'all.